All right, so in this video, we're going to talk, and in this lesson, we're going to talk about variables. So variables are the next thing we're going to be learning in class. When we're programming, really what computers do is they process data, right? They process pieces of information. They take pieces of information and do things with them. No matter what program you're writing, whether it's a game, whether it's a business application, whether it's a website, it's going to be engaging in some kind of data. There's going to be information. You know, for a game, you might have, if it's a really simple game like a first-person shooter, you need to know like a location of where the person is in the world, and you would need a model of the world, some kind of data representation of the game that you're creating. If it's business application, you may need something with dollars and senses, maybe some historical stock prices, some sort of information that you're processing. Or if you're creating an insurance application, you might need to have information about the client, what their life expectancy is, some health information so that you can quote them a price, something like that. So the basic way that we deal with data in a programming language is by the use of a variable. And a variable is basically a container that stores a piece of information, a piece of data, okay? So I got some glasses here that I'm gonna try to kind of visually represent this. I went to Walmart today and got a few different types of glasses. So we got a little Snoopy coffee mug, we got a Hogwarts Hogshead, I don't know, butterbeer glass, I guess. Another Hogwarts one, a few different ones. We got a champagne glass. I'm not allowed to serve you guys champagne at Hardin Simmons, so but we got the glass for it. So different containers that would take different kinds of data. So let's go ahead and fill some of these with, obviously a cup is made for containing liquid of some sort, right? So the liquid's gonna kind of represent different kinds of data. So we got some Gatorade in this one. I got water over here. Get spill all over the place. Go around if you don't want to be on the camera. I don't mind if you do though. Feel free to come through. All right, so we got some red and some yellow here. So maybe representing, a red color code in the computer, a yellow color code. Now, one of the things that we need to do when we are processing data is be able to move data around from place to place. So if this is one variable and this is another variable and each of them is containing some information, we might need to swap the two, right? So anybody have an idea how you would swap the yellow into the red glass and the red into the yellow glass? Somebody come up and show me. All right, so we want to trade. We want to take the red fluid and put it in this glass and the yellow fluid and put it in this glass. How would you do that? Use another glass. Yeah, somebody come up and do it. I know you guys want to be on video, be YouTube stars. Come on, man. Excellent. And we're going to end up with a little bit of kind of yellow-red stuff, but that's all right. All right. Very good. You get the idea. So that is something that we very commonly will actually do in Java. We will create two variables. Each of them is containing one piece of information. We want to swap them. We have to use a third variable. We put this one into this, we put this one into this, and then we put this one into this. All right. Now, in different programming languages, some programming languages are what's known as tightly typed. Some are more loosely typed. So depending on the container, some containers, if you're programming in Java, will only take certain kinds of data. So this cup looks like it's kind of generic. You might put anything in this, right? This one is made for a more specific purpose, like a champagne glass or something like that. This one's more for maybe margarita. If you're programming in Java, you have to tell the program what kind of data you're going to store before you create the container, the variable. So you're going to say, all right, I'm gonna hold integer numbers that don't have a decimal place in this variable, or I'm going to hold a string of text like hello world, and that's what's going to go in this variable. In a programming language like Java that's tightly constrained, if you try to take a piece of information that's not appropriate for the container, it's not going to let you do that. It's going to reject it. It's going to give you an error. You're not going to be able to do that, all right? In other programming languages like Python, you can throw whatever kind of data you want into whatever variable you want. And then the only real way that you're constrained is by how you name it. So, this one, you might name this champagne glass, but you can put Coke in there if you want. You could put Gatorade in there if you want. It may confuse people. It may not make sense. You may see somebody at the party with a glass like this who's drinking water and wonder why they didn't just use one of these. But you can do whatever you want in that kind of programming language. But again, in Java, you're going to be restricted. You have to tell it what kind of data you want in the variable when you create the variable in the first place. All right, so that's kind of my overview of using cups and this visual representation. Any questions before we move on? Okay, let me go back to, we'll go ahead and stop recording here.